Metal Mixtape here on kskqdjramo, that's the national organ, 94.1 FM, Medford, kskqdjramo. It's the boy, it's the god, DJ Ramo. I am honored and I am privileged to talk to Jamie from Earthside, and we're here to talk about his new album, Let the Truth Speak. Dude, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
My pleasure. We're getting out on the road, finally getting to share with people. It's been a long time coming, so it's just a good feeling.
Dude, okay, I listen to hundreds of albums, dude. Probably a month, dude. I listen to music all through YouTube. I'm a musician myself. I book festivals. I do all sorts of things in the scene, dude. And it's really a breath of fresh air when I listen to an album like this, dude. I seriously got took for a fucking roller coaster ride when I listened to this album, dude. From literally top to bottom, dude. There was so much going on this album. At first, like literally was the verse for the first song, but what if we were wrong? It literally reminded me of like Hong Kong culture mixed with like the gent, just with all the beautiful things going on, dude. You know what I mean? Because it's like, but on this album you had so many features, you had so many different ways of emotions with this song. It literally took you, you know, like you had all these amazing features, but then you had this album mixed up with these instrumentals, dude, that were just incredible, dude.
Yeah, when you said you can't listen to 100 albums a month, I figure whether you love it or hate it, you're probably not getting another album that's like this one as far as just how much there is, as far as just the dynamics of it, and sort of how many musical worlds we kind of pull from both ourselves and, you know, and who we collaborate with. So I'm happy to hear that it was a rewarding experience for you, that you got, you know, all those experiences out of it. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. The thing for me, man, is like, you know, I'm a musician too, and when I write and everything, I feel like I even told my bandmates last night about like how important structure is, how important it is to have like dynamics and to have like a climax in songs. And listening to your album last night, dude, I couldn't, like, I literally have 2 pages worth of notes, and I couldn't stop writing like how dynamic these structures were, man. Like the songwriting was so well done on this album that it was just insane, dude. Like you could have gone like on Tyranny and been like, this is super proggy as hell, you know what I mean? And then even the last track, dude, All We Know and Ever Love. It's just so beautiful, and the drumming in that song was just like, holy hell, dude. You know what I mean? And it's like when I almost ran out of compliments, I was like, dude, this has like the sickest drumming in this song, dude.
Well, that's the one where we got double drums, because All We Knew and Never Loved is our drummer Ben going into battle with Leprous' drummer Ford Kolstad. So, if you listen in the right headphones, you can hear one drum kit pan to the left and the other one pan to the right, and then you get a little battle going.
Oh yeah, no, I had it playing over my my JBLs on my computer, dude. And you could totally, and that's the way I love listening to music through like a high quality system, dude. And you can hear those changes you were talking about, you know. And then it's like I think so. My favorite songs on this album is The Lesser Evil. And Pattern.
Actually, the guy who wrote that one on the band right now.
Oh yeah, no, dude, and I like Beautiful and Dark, dude, and also just like such great vocals on it, dude. But the thing is, there's so many compliments on this song, dude. What I loved about Pattern of Rebirth was like the amount of awesome keyboards in that song.
Right. Yeah. You know? That sort of main keyboard line that it comes in the beginning, I feel like it's kind of what the song is built around. I mean, It's not as loud as the big for the chorus, but it's just the whole song is kind of structured around that as kind of a pillar of the song. And what you were saying about, you know, the song structures, I mean, we took, you know, years writing and working on this album. I think from people who were fans of our first album, they probably wish we'd been a little faster with this one. But yeah, I think a lot of thought went into that, and also with the longer songs, I think we spend a lot of time thinking about that beginning to end experience, that journey. So it's not a 12-minute song for the
Yeah, no, I totally agree, dude. One of the things I was like trying to think in my head, because like one of the questions I'm about to ask you is like, you know, how you got into music and where you pulled these type of influences, because at one point, dude, I thought like, and I mean this in a great way, that like the songwriting was very chaotic, but in the most positive ways you could say chaotic.
Well, I think certainly song to song. I mean, like there's certain bands where you listen to an album and like the band has a sound, and so it's cool that they have their signature sound, but then at the same time, if you can get the full album experience, you may feel like you listen to 12 very similar songs.
Yep.
For us, it's like, you know, we may be missing sort of a singular sound. It's like this is Earthside sound. I think for us, it's more this ethos of, you know, epic, cinematic, existential, sort of worldly, and those aspects and atmosphere and ambience is important for us too.
Yeah.
But it's this album with 10 tracks, it's kind of 10 very different ways to have this kind of darker, spacey, cinematic experience. Where some it's more, you know, Hans Zimmer world influence, like All We Knew and Ever Loved. Some it's, you know, our drummer growing up with Tower of Power and just sort of soul funk being a huge influence in his world, and you know, so having this darker, cinematic, heavy funk song, which is something that kind of sounds like an oxymoron until I think you hear it, and hopefully we pull it off. And, you know, and just every song kind of comes at it with a pretty similar emotional frame as far as that intensity and that weight to it, that gravitas, as I would say. But I think the genre influences that it pulls from into our cinematic rock metal world. Each song, I think, is wildly different, and I think the instrumentation and the voices are very different song to song. So I think that could probably feel a bit chaotic, especially for somebody who's never heard us before. The through line of the beginning to end album is just like you listen to 10 songs that had pretty different sonic palettes from one to the other.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude, but I feel like you guys, like, I feel like with like music like this, it's like high risk, high reward. And I definitely feel like you nailed it, as like if you were to have all like songs from older and newer played at a live show, that you definitely get it. You know what I mean? Because it still sounds like they all still sound like they're from the same band. It's for me, it's like I don't know, maybe because I've been playing music for 20 years, I could tell where like I can find like a singular sound, but the thing is, they are very different. You know what I mean? Where what I'm trying to say is like you could tell like what kind of the musicians they're coming from, but maybe like the musicians had like different takes constantly. You know, and I do feel that could work if it's done right. You know, I feel like since you guys put so much effort in each song, that it did work. That if like let's say you guys didn't put as much effort, but then made a couple songs like fillers, because you know you listen to some albums, and sometimes you're like, man, you hear some strong songs, and then like 2 to 3 of them were like, what the hell happened?
It seems like fillers maybe gotten a bit more rare recently, just because it's become less. You know, in the '90s, there's so much like albums had, you know, a couple hit singles that went to radio, and that was where just everything was pushed into. Yeah. And now, you know, ever since illegal downloading and now streaming, people can check out the album before they invest in it. So it's not just the single that makes them decide to buy or not. Yeah. They can listen to the entire thing. And I do think that shifted, you know, put more of the onus on artists to say, hey, let's have quality albums. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure, as you're saying, I think there's albums that still have some tracks that didn't get the same love from the band or rushed. I mean, we had the luxury of, we didn't have a hard deadline on when this album was going to be done, so I think that probably helped us avoid having filler, because we had plenty of time to really give each song what it needed. And, you know, from a business standpoint, a music industry standpoint, that may have not been the best thing, because, you know, we had momentum from our first album, which were even static back in 2015. And so I think if we had been able to drop this in 2018, you know, that would have been ideal. I think think the sort of appetite was perfect for it at that point, but we just started recording this album in 2018, and then because of our collaborative nature, where we don't have a lead singer, we feature guest vocalists, and we were very picky isn't the right word. I think we were very specific in what we wanted in the vocals for each song. It took us a long time to find the right singer that could kind of emote in the right way to have that song experience how we wanted it to be. And in some cases, we had, a singer in mind, and they said no, or they didn't respond to us, or they said yes, but then the pandemic happened and they had to drop out. So it was, it was quite a long experience, basically just trying to get all the singers together to kind of be able to have the album experience we wanted. And we were, I think, very perfectionistic about it. So as such, every single minute was kind of lovingly crafted and lovingly tended to, and was, given ample attention. But it did mean that it took a super long time.
No, I dig it, man. And also, having so many features, when you were having people sing over your tracks or just adding instruments or percussion, like, were you giving them like kind of like an outline of like where you want their emotion to be at when they do a take for your guys' songs, or was it more of like, here's the lyrics, like you do a rendition of what you think the song in your section has, like because you have this huge album, it's super beautiful and gorgeous, but then you have these musicians coming in, so like, are you giving them like an idea of where you want them to go as far as their feature, and how does that process work?
Yeah, so I mean, on our first album, on Dream Static, we were almost kind of had it all fleshed out. So all our collaborators on our debut, they were, other than we had one hammered Dulcimer player, but otherwise, and we had an orchestra, but then otherwise it was all vocalists. And with each of them, we had the vocal part pretty much just written, both just the lyrics and the melodies and the dynamics we wanted. So it was kind of getting them to do sort of a better version of our demo. On Let the Truth Speak, each song was different. Like when you mentioned Pattern of Rebirth earlier, that song is unique in that it's the only time we've ever given the guest vocalist a blank canvas. We gave AJ the instrumental, and he just, we gave him the title Pattern of Rebirth, but there was, no lyrics, no vocal melody. We just handed it to him, and he just took it where he went. On a song like We Who Lament, Ketra, it looks like Ketura, but she pronounced it Ketra. She told us Ketra. We had a pretty fleshed out idea of what we wanted the lyrics and melodies to be, and I went up to Ottawa, where she lives, and kind of, sort of took her through what we wanted through that experience. And then there's a couple spots where there's like improvisational wordless fills where she could kind of be more creative. And she also sang on Denial's Aria, and on that one, she did more to kind of make it her own. There were vocals, melodies, and lyrics all written, and some of it she kept, and some of it she kept all the lyrics, and some of the melodies she changed and made more her own as far as how she expressed it. So, every song we wrote, our drummer Ben wrote The Lesser Evil with Larry Braggs in mind, and Larry Braggs is a former singer from that band, Tower of Power, that soul band I mentioned earlier, being a huge influence on him. And, with Larry, the song was written for him. I think pretty much all the lyrics were written by our drummer Ben, and it stayed the same. Most of the melodies did, but Larry did a few things where he kind of made it his own or changed it a little bit, and we kept it. There's some of that where we have a specific vision of how we want it, and sometimes it's, we kind of give the singer either free rein completely or at least a little bit of, a looser leash this time around than we did on the first record. With Daniel Tompkins from Tesseract specifically, on Dream is Attic, he just basically made a better version of our demo, and he did it like verbatim. And then on Let the Truth Speak, he wrote a bunch of the lyrics and the melodies. We wrote a bunch of them too, but he got to be much more involved in the creative process and stuff.
No, dude, that's sick, dude. I love hearing all that, dude, because, just, hearing all these songs and just like, how some songs are longer than others, but there's so much build-up. Now that we've talked through this, my other big question I like to do interviews, man. Like, I don't really write down any questions. I like to just like feed off people. You know, because I feel like that's the best way. I feel like if you listen to the album,
makes it feel like a conversation.
Yeah, because then if you just listen to the album, I feel like questions come on their own. You know what I mean? And so now after that, my big question is like, how do you, having all these features and all this album, how do you, and right now you guys being on tour, how do you replicate this album when you're trying to play it live?
Yeah, so it's not the easiest, Ramo, but yeah, we on our current set, we're doing a mix of instrumentals and vocal songs. So we have a screen. Either we have our own projector that we can bring. It's easier when the venue has their own.
Yeah.
And we have visualizers for the whole set, including instrumental songs. But then when it's a vocal song, we incorporate video footage of the vocalist into the visualizer, so you can sort of see them singing along, and then we have the track of them singing. So right now that's how we're doing it. At some point we could have a live singer, or who knows, on our third album we may just get a full-time lead singer or a lead singer specific for that record. That conversation's remaining to be had, but it's right now we feel like this is the most sort of, for someone who's never heard us and heard of us before, and when you're a support band, you're touring, you're going to get a mix of people who came to see you, people who came to see the headliner but know you or like you or are vaguely familiar with you, and then people who are only there for the headliner, have never heard of you, and they showed up, and this is your one chance to kind of book them. And so I think, given that these are our two records and they're both in this collaborative mold, I think this is the way that most shows are multi-collaborative approach, and in a way that maybe it's confusing to somebody who's showing up at a show that they don't know anything about us, but by the end of our set, they kind of have a sense of who we are and how we do things, and maybe they can recognize the singers on the screen. So, yeah, I mean, we've had people who've never heard of us, but they're like, oh, that's Dan from Tesseract. Oh, cool, is that him? Oh my God, that's amazing. He's one of my favorite singers. Or on this tour, we haven't been playing Mob Mentality from our first album, but that's a song that features LeJean Witherspoon from Seven Dust, and we've had people, when we used to play that one, people would be like, wait, is that LeJean? Oh my God, he's my favorite, so cool moments like that. So can't take them all with us. They're pretty busy with their own bands and Concord with all they're doing. A lot of the bands the singers we work with, their own bands are road warriors, so they're either making records or they're just on the road, and it's hard to get them for a free moment. So this just feels like the best way to communicate our sort of collaborative approach, and kind of how it feels a bit more like a creative collective in terms of how we do things.
All right. No, I love it, man. Definitely do with this type of a band, dude. Like, I mean, if I saw you guys live for the first time, I think you guys would be sick, dude, because the musicianship on this is just insane, dude. And I love it. And when I listen to music like this, it makes me want to play music like this hella bad. Because like I play like in a deathcore band.
Oh, cool.
And I actually talked to my band last night, and I was like, dude, do you guys care if I got a keyboard? Because I love playing piano. And then I listen to this album, and I'm just like, dude, there's so much going on, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, there's a deathcore that has some cinematic elements, for sure. There's a big called Upfilter or something. There's a handful of bands that have that can kind of combine that cinematic or ambient or keyboards, whether it's in super heavy hardcore or deathcore. It's I think it's cool when music's multidimensional like that.
Oh yeah, it just adds so much dynamic. And now in this day and age where like kind of like what you're reflecting on, how like music is on every platform, where like bands are put more on notice when they put on a good song compared to like a song that maybe doesn't have as much effort. You know what I mean? So it's like nowadays I feel like everybody's like pushing the limits of every genre and seeing where they can mix what, and
might as well try it, just experiment, and if the experiment goes wrong, just don't release it, but try. I think one of the most inspiring things is, But so in addition to having to carry 7 singers with us on, I also have, ample guitars, and they're all tuned to different tunings and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, I think that just that idea, whether it's individually as a composer or as a band together, finding some way to kind of change up the process or change up, it could be as simple as changing the tuning of your guitar, or, if you're a band and you normally jam in a rehearsal one room, try a song where you just kind of gather around a laptop and build something from scratch for each. You kind of take a turn putting something on the DAW, and, or try one where you write things in your head if you've never done that before, or try one where you're kind of sitting around a piano, even if you play guitar, play drums, I think whatever your tool is changes what you create, and I think it can pull different things out of you if you kind of actively change up that process. And so I think part of why Earthside music is so all over the place is because we have very different processes. We have, about half our songs are written in rehearsal, and then half our songs are written, individually. But then when you get the ones that are written individually, it can be somebody's writing at a DAW, somebody's writing at a piano, somebody's hearing stuff in their head, somebody's singing voice memos into their phone and beatboxing. You got all these different ways of kind of creating and documenting ideas and then building off of them. And it's going to change what you can create based on what you're working with, and then therefore it changes, what comes out of it.
Yeah. I dig it. I agree on all your points, dude. And I think that's why, dude, Let the Truth Speak. Let the Truth Speak has just so much volume and just so much dynamics to it. And for anybody listening, dude, I would literally recommend this album if you want a whole new experience, because it's definitely like the songwriting's on point, the dynamics on point, the emotions are on point. So, and also, there's some for people who like, lighter music and heavy music. There's so much there. So, I would definitely recommend this to everybody, dude. And I wrote down 5 favorite songs. So, my favorite songs are We Who Lament, Tyranny, Pattern of Rebirth, The Lesser Evil, and Let the Truth Speak, dude.
Cool.
Those songs, all the songs are sick, though. So I couldn't, I might as well just put all the songs on my favorite, because the instrumentals were sick. Like, the way the song started was just like I was like, it's really nice when you're able to write down that you guys don't sound like anybody. So
we definitely don't try to, so it's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
So we're not. I mean, we definitely have influences, but hopefully we combine those influences in a unique, new, novel way for people to get a new, something new out of listening to it that they haven't heard before or felt before.
Yeah, no, for sure. I do my best to try to stay away from like that type of compliment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some bands force your hand because they do sound too much like other bands. Like, well, sorry, man, you don't have your own sound.
So, hey, man, you sound like Slayer, man. Like, what do you mean? It's like, well, you're kind of like, like just wailing that whammy bar and playing a really fast chord at 220 BPMs, dude. So, I'm fucking. Dude, Jamie, it's been awesome, dude. We're talking to Jamie from Earthside, promoting the new album, Let the Truth Speak. Before we end the interview, can I ask you a bunch of random questions for 5 minutes?
Sure, I will try to think on my feet. Let's see what we get.
All right, man. All right, in a zombie apocalypse, you only can have one weapon to destroy the zombie horde, but it can be a nuclear weapon or the cure. What is your one weapon?
An elixir of calmness and lovingness.
So you think like you can like revert back to zombies, or
they're still zombies, but now they're sweethearts.
maybe you can like turn them on other zombies, for your protection.
They have like semi-security guard zombies, but they're just like really benevolent at this point.
There you go. You're kind of like a necromancer. I like it. What is the one genre of music that you like that is furthest from the sound of your band?
Oh man, because there's so many sounds and stuff. I can like some bluegrass. Definitely not country, but I can definitely like some bluegrass. And I definitely like some hip hop. I think our keyboards give us some hip hop. So.
I like like a little bit of Taylor Swift in there?
I mean, those folkier albums have a couple songs. I was thinking more like Nickel Creek or I don't know if you know the band Punch Brothers. Chris Neely is just like a virtuoso mandolin player, and it's like shreds, and it's like totally sick.
I like it. What is one band right now? What is one band from your childhood that you're happy that got a whole lot of success? How old are you, by the way, Jimmy?
I'm 36.
See, we're like the same age. I'm 34. I'll be 35 this year.
Man. I feel like if I love a band, I mean, our whole band feels this way, but if we love the band, it's a kiss of death. They're like guaranteed to not go too far. I say this, I think over time, I'm happy to see that like new metal's come back around to have some credibility again, and so I feel like a band, I really have a soft spot for the band Seven Dust. I think that they've always been respected, but I think there was a time where it was really like new metal was most hated, and so I think they had lost a little bit of respect, and I think now it's just, I think the metal world, I think generally embraces them as legit, and they're just, they're such good dudes, and they've been so consistent and made so many records and toured so much, and LeJean, such an amazing singer, and Glenn, such an amazing songwriter, so yeah, I mean, I feel like they should have more success, but I'm happy that they have the credit and respect that I think they deserve.
I absolutely agree, dude. You know what's crazy is that the 90s dress style is back and it's popular again.
The 90s, I missed the word.
What's up?
Oh, the 90s what style? I didn't hear that.
The way people dress, like the baggy clothes is back again. I think people like the Jenko pants and like just like the big dickies and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I know I'm getting old because that was the style I was born in, and it's insane, man, because it's like when I got into music, the 80s were like just like 20 years ago,
right?
And now it's like shit. Like my favorite band I grew up on was Avenged Sevenfold, and I'm just like, man, they're over 40 now.
Yeah. But basically, like, listening to Avenged Sevenfold now is like when we were kids and hearing about Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. All right, dude. Two final quick questions. If you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would you choose to kill you, and how would they do it?
Maybe that crazy mom in Get Out. And she would just psychologically manipulate me into like losing my will to live, but kind of in a sexy way. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And if I can hang out with Jordan Peele as part of it, that'd be great too.
Oh God, dude, his movies are so damn good. Especially when you're watching him, like, in Key and Peele, and like how funny he is, and then how like dark he is.
Yeah, you can already see little shades of it. That's like the weird one. Keegan's weird is all the way, but Peele's got that kind of weird going.
Oh God. Oh, I love it when he plays, Jordan plays like the nerd guy, and he's always ordering food and stuff, but like the person on the other line thinks he's ordering food for like a whole lot of people.
Did I see this skit? I don't know if I know this one. I was thinking of a different Jordan Peele nerdy skit where he's on the mattress, but I don't know if you saw that one. But
now I gotta go inside and watch this shit.
Beach got Jordan Peele homework.
Oh yeah. All right. Last question. What is do you prefer? I'll just throw this one randomly. Since you talked about it earlier, do you prefer when bands you like release albums year to year, or they spend a long time in between?
I mean, I guess from a consumer standpoint, you want that gratification, but I mean, I prefer that a band takes whatever time it takes to make the record that they're inspired to make. I mean, some records don't need a lot of time, and some do, and I'd rather they do whatever it takes to make that record be, as special as it is and fits with their flow.
I agree. All right, man, we're running short. I got to give more space for the other journalists. Jamie, thank you so much for being on the Metal Mixtape. Everybody, please check out Earthside's new album, Let the Truth Speak, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I would recommend this to all music lovers. There isn't a specific genre I would lead this to. If you just love music, well orchestrated music, that just has storytelling, beautiful structures, dynamics, this is definitely the type of, and a new experience, most of all, I think is the biggest compliment. If you want a new experience, check out Let the Truth Speak by Earthside. Jamie, last thing, can you say this is Jamie from Earthside, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Absolutely. Hey everyone, this is Jamie from Earthside, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape.
Hell yeah, brother. You have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful time playing shows, dude. Stay healthy. Keep writing. I follow you guys on Facebook and Instagram now, and I'm just excited to follow your guys' career, man.
I'll keep my eye out for you on there. I'll follow you back. Unlike Gwen Stefani, I am a follow back girl. Follow back girl. We'll go with it.
God, you know it's the worst when people follow you, but then once you give them your follow, they unfollow you. And you're just
those people who just go around following accounts randomly, and then as soon as, I heckle those people. If someone randomly follows me and I know they're just trying to get me to follow them, so they can unfollow me, I'll be like, I know what you're doing. I message them and I make them feel guilty about it.
Good! Screw them. All right, brother. Jamie, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day, my man.
You as well. Thanks so much for talking, Ramo.
You too. Bye.